On December the 7th, 1941, the Imperial forces of Japan attacked the U.S. fleet in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, sinking or damaging 22 ships, killing 2,403 people, wounding 1,178, with 690 still missing. Over 1,000 crew members are still entombed in the battleship Arizona. The United States was unprepared for war because of the pacifism after World War I. The Allied powers were disarmed as Japan and Germany began building up their war machines. The Philippines and much of Asia fell to the Japanese right away after Pearl Harbor, and our military personnel in those areas were killed or imprisoned while we were scrambling to build war material and weapons. All the news on the home front was bad and demoralizing. The Japanese thought they were invincible because they believed their emperor was God and he would allow nothing to stop them. All Allied forces were too far away to be a threat to the island nation of Japan. The United States had a bold plan, the location of which was to remain a secret throughout the war. On April the 18th, 1942, Colonel Jimmy Doolittle led 16 twin-propeller B-25 bombers right into the heart of Imperial Japan and bombed Tokyo. This is a photograph of the B-25 Mitchell bombers and the USS Hornet and General Franklin Roosevelt pinning the Medal of Honor on Jimmy Doolittle's chest. A small group of 16 planes didn't have a bomb load to cause sufficient damage to the Japanese war effort, but coming a little more than 4 months after the sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, it made American hearts soar and lifted the morale of the United States. Never before had land-based bombers been launched from an aircraft carrier at sea. The plan was to get as close as possible to Japan, then launch off the aircraft carrier, the USS Hornet. The origin of the flight was kept secret for years, and the newscasters called the base Shangri-La from a mythical lost valley in the Himalayan mountains. But 200 miles before the scheduled takeoff, the carrier saw a Japanese fishing boat. Fearing the fishermen had warned the Japanese fleet, the Doolittle raiders had to alter their plan. The USS Hornet plowed full speed ahead to give the B-25s a running start, as they knew that fuel would be running low because of the extra 200 miles. Flying at low level, the B-25s hit Tokyo, Yokohama, Kobe, and Nagoya. Bad weather forced the bombers to crash land or to bail out over Japanese-occupied China. 3 of the raiders died during the crash landings. Another 3 were executed by Japanese, and the 4th one was starved to death. 4 were held prisoners until the end of the war. The remaining 69 raiders avoided capture and defied all odds in order to get back to the United States. Chinese villagers hid them from the Japanese troops until they could make their way back to unoccupied territory. The Japanese killed 250,000 Chinese civilians in retaliation for helping the Doolittle raiders. The story of one raider is told in the book 30 Seconds Over Tokyo, which was also made into a movie in 1944 starring Spencer Tracy, Van Johnson, and Robert Mitchum. Jimmy Doolittle became a national hero, and President Franklin Roosevelt promoted him to a brigadier general, pinned the Medal of Honor, our nation's highest decoration, on him. This raid was one of the most significant events in all of American history. Sadly, the heroism performed by men and women in our armed forces who have kept the United States a free nation are almost unknown to the present generation. A recent poll of high school seniors showed 72% did not even know we fought Adolf Hitler during World War II. Only 13% knew we entered World War II because Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. President Jimmy Carter created the Department of Education, taking the education of our children away from parents, teachers, and local school boards. The goal was to dumb down our population and create global citizens rather than American citizens. Currently politically correct revisionist textbooks have removed George Washington and Abraham Lincoln from our history. American heroes are unknown to our children today. My uncle, Foster Murray, was with General George Patton's Third Army when they liberated the horrifying concentration camps where the Nazis murdered over 6 million Jews as well as millions of other people during World War II. A recent PBS documentary stated that defending America and freeing Europe from the Nazis was no different from the horrors of the Nazi regime. I personally talked to a German man who was a prisoner of war when I lived in Santa Rosa, California. He'd been captured during World War II and he spent the war years as a prisoner of war working on a farm in our Midwest. He told me that the worst days as a prisoner in the United States was better than the best days in Germany. And after the war was over, he worked for 6 years to get a visa to immigrate to this country. The mainstream media now depicts our troops as bullies for dropping the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Using the A-bomb to shorten the war saved an estimated 4 million lives, both Japanese and American, a fact our media ignores. Currently, a group of college professors are trying to build a memorial at Pearl Harbor to honor the Japanese kamikaze pilots who attacked it in 1941. Remember this, it was a college professor, Timothy Leary, who taught our youth to destroy their minds and bodies by turning on and dropping out and taking LSD. Another college professor, Peter Singer, advocates killing babies up to 6 months of age if parents decide they don't want the baby they brought into the world. This man right now is a college professor of ethics at Princeton University. It's up to us, cowboys and patriotic Americans, to keep alive the names of our heroes such as Jimmy Doolittle and the Raiders, who preserved this nation by fighting and dying for our freedom 75 years ago. God bless them all.